Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be doing something pretty cool. We're going to be learning how to write to a file, which pretty much means if you want to make for this example, we're going to be making a text file, and in the text file we're going to be making it write some things. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing today, and it's going to be pretty cool. So it's going to be kind of lengthy, so I'm going to try and speed this up a bit, so let's get started right now. To get started, I'm going to import a bunch of things, and I'm going to type them pretty quickly, so just pause if you need to. So let's get started. Import java.io.bufferedWriter. Import java.io.file. Import, if I can spell correctly, java.io.filewriter. Import java.io.io_exception. Okay, great. If you need to pause, that's totally cool. They're just a bunch of imports we're going to be using, and you'll understand as we go along. Let's get started by creating a try-catch statement. So we're going to do try, and then below that we're going to do catch and exception E. Now exception E won't be here throughout the whole tutorial. I'm only putting that there so it doesn't cause errors, but we'll replace exception E very soon. To get started, within the try-catch statement, let's write string content equals this will be written to the file, exclamation point, because it's very exciting. And you may put anything you'd like in here, whether it's, I don't know, some state in the United States or your favorite type of cake, or just what I put. Just put anything you want in the string content. And let's type file equals new file, and let's make it in this directory. Now the way directory works in Java, it's kind of weird. You have two forward slashes when you want to navigate to a specific folder. So I'll type this out so you can kind of understand what I'm saying. So in the C drive, if you're using Windows, which I'm going to be doing this tutorial for Windows, so C / my folder / my file.txt. Now make sure the folder my folder is created within your C drive. My file.txt does not need to exist yet. We'll make it exist soon, but just make sure my folder has been made in your C drive, or else this will throw an exception. And then after this, we're going to do an if statement. If file.exists, and you know that the exclamation point in Java means if not, so we're pretty much asking, does this file exist? And if it does not exist, which is what we're asking, we're going to create it. And this file, of course, is my file.txt. So let's create it. Let's do file.create new file, and this will create the file for us. And that's all you need to do. And this won't even be called if this already exists, but if it doesn't exist, it'll create a new one. And let's do file writer, FW is what we'll name it, equals new file writer, and file dot get absolute file, and we'll end that. And then we'll make our buffered writer BW equals new buffered writer, and then FW, which is our file writer. And pretty much what this means is it's going to write to our file, and that's why we're initializing the buffered writer along with the file writer. Now after that, we're going to do bw.write, not writer, right? And then we're going to put content as the argument. So what it's going to do is it's going to write to this file this will be written to the file, because that's what our string content is. If you notice, we placed it in here. And after we're done with that, we do bw.close, because we need to close the buffered writer. And then let's do system.out.println, writing completed successfully. Okay, great. And now here's our catch statement. Instead of doing catch exception E, we're actually going to change this to IO exception E, which stands for input output, which IO stands for input output. And so it means if there's a problem with the input output, it'll throw the exception and we can catch it. So first we're going to type e.print stack trace. Oops, let me just, yeah, e.print stack trace, and that pretty much means it'll spit out the error to the console. Instead of crashing the program, it'll say what really happened. And then we write system.out.println an error occurred. And let's try doing this right now. So first let's start off by pressing the run button and save. And you'll see that it says writing completed successfully, and that's all it says. But I'll bring up the window where I had located my file.txt, and let me just bring this down a tiny bit. So I put it in local disk C, my folder. If you look here, see my folder, my file.txt. It was created successfully, and it, as you can tell, it was created at 11:37 a.m., which is right now. And let's open it, and you'll see that the text says this will be written to the file. And that pretty much shows how this was working successfully. Now let's change it up a bit, just to show how this catch statement works. Instead of my folder, let's name it like non-existent, and that's probably, I don't know, folder. So this folder does not exist, and when I run it, you'll see that it threw an exception. The system cannot find the file path specified. That's why we put e.print stack trace, and then it says an error occurred. And so that concludes the tutorial for writing to a file in Java. I hope you got something out of it, and I will see you in the next one.